Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto, where we take the market one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind. But this is going to be a different kind of a video from Real Crypto. This is actually a video on kind of the fundamentals of cryptocurrency. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know I pretty much don't talk about fundamentals, nor do I even agree that fundamentals even exist in cryptocurrencies, because they don't. Cryptocurrencies are a market that do not move off of fundamentals. They move off of FUD, FOMO, emotion, and whatever pump and dump group is deciding to pump XRP that day. But we may be starting to see a very slim and a very early indication that crypto is maturing into something that's actively being used. I did a video similar to this, my by far my largest views, 510,000 views on this video. I'll put a link in the description. That video talked about kind of how to maybe look at investing in cryptocurrencies and kind of looking at what cryptos the market was looking to buy and making investment decisions based on that. In that video, what I discussed was there was two types of coins. There were blockchain coins and there were functional coins, okay? You've got Bitcoin as a blockchain coin. You've got Bitcoin Cash, you know, coins that just do money transfer. They don't really do any processing. They don't do any fun stuff. It's just very basic counting, ledger, transactions. Boom, that's it. And quite a few of these coins are that. As a matter of fact, most of them are like that nowadays. It's kind of interesting. The other type of coin, we had the functional coins, such as Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, you can write a smart contract. That can actually do something. What we've started to see recently is kind of the erosion of the smart contract and the blockchain coins. Before, people were battling and fighting for supremacy of the blockchain itself. If you're not familiar with what the blockchain is, it's a network, kind of similar to the network that goes to your house. Data runs across it, and Ethereum has one of those blockchains. XRP, each one of these blockchains is one of those networks. So let's look at the functional tokens. Ethereum, you've got, where's the next one here? EOS, that's really the next functional blockchain. There's a wide gap here. If you actually look at my video that I had, and I'm going to pull it up here, I have it on my other screen. This was my video from January 3rd of 2018, so almost 2 years ago. You had Ethereum, Cardano, NEM, loosely Stellar, IOTA, and Tron. Quite a few making up the top 10, top 11 there. But right now, Tron's still 11. You've got basically Tron, EOS, and Ethereum. So, and loosely Cardano, you can see the blockchains are kind of drifting away from each other, okay? But something else has started to happen. And I'm going to pull up a report, and again, I'll have a link for this in the description for everyone if you want to take a look at it. A company called Deloitte did a survey fairly recently of 1,386 global enterprise businesses, and this is about the blockchain. Now, in my opinion, blockchain is not going to literally change the world. It's not going to be Amazon. It's not going to be Facebook. It's not going to be any of those things that a majority of people think it's going to be. Blockchain can never be Amazon. Okay? It can never be Amazon. Let's go to Amazon.com real quick. Everyone thinks you're going to see these meteoric rises and everything. And one thing that's different about Amazon, Apple, let's talk about the huge market cap companies. Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and those are the three I can think off the top. Facebook, right? Those are very consumer-driven, very customer-focused businesses. Blockchain is not that. You will never get Amazon on a blockchain. And while you could necessarily write the code, what advantage do you have over a traditional network infrastructure? You literally have none. There's no benefit to putting Amazon on a blockchain or Facebook on a blockchain or anything else on a blockchain than there is on a traditional server architecture, which is very mature at this stage of the game. What blockchain is good for, though, is data validation. It's good for privacy. It's good for security. It's good for immutability. What immutability means is that you can't change this thing, all right? So let's say I have a mortgage on my house right now, which I do. I would love that to live on a blockchain because there's in no way, shape, or form can someone go in there and mess with that document and say that they now own my house. That's what blockchain is good for. And believe it or not, we're starting to see maybe, I'm going to preface this with maybe, we may be starting to see blockchain start to take its role and start to do its thing. So in this particular study done by Deloitte, data validation was the #1 blockchain use case. Also data access and sharing, identity protection, and then you start to get into what we kind of all know about cryptocurrency, payments, digital currency, blah, 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 blah. The main thing here, in my opinion, at least right now in the cryptocurrency story, is data validation and data access and sharing. We're starting to see some of that creep into the normal ecosystem of technology stacks. Okay, it's starting to get there, and it's pretty exciting because you may start seeing some good price action. And as a matter of fact, we're already starting to see some good price action. I'm not going to take up a tremendous amount of your time, but I do want to talk about 2 use cases. One is interoperability, which is not in here, okay, which is not in the use case, and the other is this data validation and data access sharing. I want to talk a little bit about a company called Tyrion. Now, this isn't a pump video for Tyrion. Nobody paid me, and the same with Chainlink. I'm going to talk about Chainlink and Tyrion. No one's paid me to do this. I'm just talking about this because we've seen proof in the charts that there may just be some actual usage of these networks. So what Tyrion does is Tyrion basically provides you with timestamps, data integrity. What did we just notice over here? Data validation, data access and sharing, integrity. They're looking for the validation of the data. That's what this blockchain is looking at doing, right? They're looking at validating things. They're saying, okay, if I have a smart contract or I have a contract or I have anything, I can put a timestamp on it that is immutable, that cannot be changed ever. Okay? Ultimate security, they leverage the power of the Bitcoin blockchain. I don't necessarily know how. That may be the subject of another video, maybe not. But companies are actually starting to use this. Tyrion, Dell uses Tyrion as a matter of fact. I didn't pull it up, but Tyrion and Dell. So Dell integrates Tyrion's chainpoint technology. You're starting to see some integration between the real world and between cryptocurrencies, between blockchain providers. So you have a lot of these. So I'm going to go back to CoinMarketCap. You've got a tremendous amount of these tokens that do all kinds of crazy things. Tyrion is down here number 95. Okay, it's down here number 95, but it's actually been kind of on a tear lately. This is how we started looking at this. This isn't the first coin that we noted in this interoperability data transaction type of a thing, and we'll talk about interoperability in a little bit. But TNT has been on just a massive run. From here, it's been up about 250%. Now, granted, there's coins that go up 200, 300% and then fall. It happens from time to time. There's nothing necessarily special about this. What is special about this, though, is that we're seeing several of tokens in this sector have similar moves, have increased volume patterns, starting to see massive moves. There's been really no pullbacks, just 3 bases, and we've tracked these on my Real Crypto Power Hour. TNT's been on our radar ever since right here. Okay, I don't have that on my chart anymore. I start with this particular cup in hand, but we had an alert level here, and we've had an increase of about 100%. Okay, so you can start to see a little bit that price action is possibly catching up with the blockchain usage, and by that definition, we may start to get fundamentals. We may start to get some fundamental usage out of some coins that are actually being used. All right, so I'm going to talk about the second coin, and actually, in my opinion, one of the best coins in the market, and has been for a long time. Chainlink. And actually, I think I have to go back further. Oh no, here this has the full chart. Cool. I'm going to go to the daily chart, and yeah, I'm actually going to go to the dollar chart here. Okay, here's Chainlink on the dollar chart. We've been following Chainlink extensively for a very long period of time. I don't remember exactly where, but at a minimum right here. Went on to have a tremendous move. I think there's some history for Chainlink pre-Binance, but I don't want to get into that right now. But Chainlink with just an enormous move, 800% in 2019. If you guys have not noticed Chainlink, your head's been in the sand because it has been just a tremendous mover, and it's actually starting the next leg of its run. But we noticed Chainlink earlier in the year and really started looking at it and started talking about the interoperability tokens. And this is where I think blockchain is slowly maturing into, at least again in this phase of its development. Blockchain may not necessarily, the story isn't fully told. The story of blockchain in no way, shape, or form is fully told. But going back to CoinMarketCap, to my kind of beginning our initial topic of conversation about those platform coins starting to maybe diverge from one another and maybe some leadership starting to show. And Ethereum has always been a leader, and it looks like it may continue to be a leader. But you're starting to see these chains diverge from one another, and that shows here in the fact that Neo is number 22. I mean, Neo used to be in the top 10. For whatever reason, Neo's fallen out of favor. NEM, which in my video here from 2 years ago was right here solidly at number 6 for whatever reason, now is solidly at 26. So you're starting to see some people kind of maybe migrate a little bit into this blockchain or that blockchain. However, the blockchains themselves are still relatively slow. You can argue that Ethereum is a horrible blockchain because of it can't transact. And you would probably have an accurate statement on your hand. But it's still up here at number 2. Why is that? Well, you can argue the reason that is because of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Or Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. Okay, this is 250 very large companies and very technologically sound companies that are using Ethereum and have been talking about it now for years. Okay, for years, and it's hard to supplant something that is that ingrained into a business. If some people are using Ethereum or looking into using Ethereum, they're likely to not change. They would have to have a very good value proposition to change, and that doesn't mean what you think it means, likely. It basically means that Ethereum is horrible and these are a much better blockchain for whatever sense. But Ethereum is a massive blockchain and it's probably not going away anytime soon, but it's extremely slow. So enter to the fray the interoperability tokens. And this is where a coin like Chainlink has really started to shine, and it shows in that chart, and it shows that it's right here at number 15 on CoinMarketCap, just under 1 billion. And if you go back further in its history, I mean, look at this. You're looking at 240 million. We can go back to the look back machine, and let's just go back to the beginning of 2019 before its massive run here. And we can see, I'm actually not sure what this is going to show us, but I'm pretty sure what it's going to show us. If I can, historical snapshots, there we go. I'm pretty sure it's going to show us that Chainlink wasn't anywhere near number 15. All right, January 6, 2019. Number 38, 138 million. So you can see Chainlink coin has firmly been moving up the rankings as you see coins, other coins that have been firmly moving down the rankings. NEM has dropped another 10. Neo's dropped another however many that was. That was a bunch. And so you can see some links, some coins rising up and some coins falling down. You have these blockchain tokens, which if you go by the CoinMarketCap rankings, you firmly have a leader in Ethereum, but there's some other rising stars, and Link is one of them. I can't tell you where Link is going to stop, at least in terms of CoinMarketCap ranking, but I can tell you that it is more than likely being heavily utilized somewhere for something, because I really can't tell you any other explanation than that. And that's what the chart leads you to. The chart leads you to that this is a coin that is being accumulated, and this is a coin that is going to be leading us into the future. This is a very bullish setup overall on the daily chart. And it's because of these large global enterprises, 1,300 taking the survey, that want data validation, that want data access and sharing, that want identity protection and payments. They want all these things, but you can't do that natively on the blockchains because you overwhelm the blockchain. So what you end up with, And Chainlink isn't the only one providing a service similar to this. There's other ones that I'm not going to go into the details of discussing at this moment, but there's other blockchains that perform somewhat similar services. Some of them reside strictly on the Ethereum blockchain. Believe it or not, there's a lot of things that use Ethereum but don't run on Ethereum. They basically use Ethereum as a hard drive, and these other coins are basically the CPU. They do the fast processing, but they end up saving to the hard drive, which is Ethereum. And I think that's really where Ethereum is probably going to settle into, is basically a hard drive. You're going to settle on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's about it. You're not going to do too much processing because it's just a slow network. Until they can solve that definitively, that's probably where Ethereum is going to lie. But you have a coin like something like Chainlink, which can provide, where are we at? Number 15. Oh no, this is the look back machine. So you've got Chainlink here, which can provide that happy medium, that intermediary between whatever you want to do and Ethereum. Okay, and Chainlink actually is very flexible. It can use pretty much any application, API, security, cloud provider, go through Chainlink, post to any blockchain, and come out the other side with payments of some sort. So that's it, guys. That's basically what I wanted to show you, is that I think we're starting to see the cryptocurrency market mature. Okay, it's going from Wild West to, look, now we actually know what companies want to use blockchain for. And is it really that different? I personally don't believe Bitcoin is going to become global currency. It's just too limited in scope and scale, and the blockchain's too slow. But blockchain itself is extraordinarily valuable, extraordinarily flexible, yet inflexible at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. And you have here, with this report, and again, I'll post a link in the description, that is telling you that companies are starting to use these services, but they want to use them for what they're really good at. Look, these companies have billions of dollars in infrastructure. Google isn't changing everything to a blockchain. There's so much invested in databases. Databases aren't going anywhere. You may have some blockchain database cohesion at some point in time. You're also starting to see that. But generally, data validation, which is something like Tyrion, and then interoperability, which is something like what Chainlink coin does. These are the examples of what blockchain is actively being used for. And if you can find or know of a way to actually actively track how these are being used and whether they have increasing usage or decreasing usage or whatever the case may be, that will be extraordinarily valuable. And if you can do it across of all these weird garbage currencies, all 3,000 of them now, 3,021 currencies, most of them horrible garbage, if you can somehow traverse all of those, figure out which of those coins are being utilized, and quickly, you can make a tremendous amount of money in the cryptocurrency market. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think crypto is actually maturing. You're starting to see usage, and I think you should invest in blockchain for what it's good for, not for what you think it's good for. So, all right, guys, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Hey, if you guys do like my content and services and want to hear more about this, we do talk about these and more topics every single day in my Real Crypto Power Hour. You can go to my website, real-crypto.com, and click on the services link, and you can sign up here for the Real Crypto Power Hour. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me today. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.